Hi all.
Hey everybody.
New to the group, it's Tali Sanga. I'm here with Sarah, and I'm going to question her on rent to rent because she's the master.
Master strong. I do some rent to rent for sure. So this is Tali, for everybody's benefit, this is Tali's first ever Facebook Live, and I'm very excited for him because he's just gone and done it, and that is all you have to do. Take action, right?
I took the gamble.
Fire away.
Yeah, she asked me the question. I said, nope, never have. And she went, right, let's do one. I went, okay, cool, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so my first question is, right, I'm doing rent to rent now, and I've overcome, objections, challenges, and I'm sure there's plenty of people in the group who have done the same thing. So my question to you is okay, so my first ever objection was I wasn't getting any leads from my direct vendor letters. What do you do to overcome that, or do you just move? How did you move forward from that?
Were they letters to the HMO list?
Yes.
Okay, so the reason you're probably not getting many responses from the HMO list is because it's what everybody does. So if you imagine, everybody goes on a training course, everybody downloads the HMO list, and everybody sends a letter to the HMO list. How many letters did you send?
Okay, so I got my statistics, and it was 500 letters.
500 letters to 500 addresses.
500 different landlords.
How many times did you send those 500 letters?
I said the first batch was 1 month, I think it was about 150. Second was about 200-ish, and then I sent the third one in January.
Okay.
Maybe?
So so I'm not a fan of direct mail, which this group knows because I talk to them all the time about this. I'm not a fan of direct mail to HMO list because if you're going to do direct mail, you have to do it consistently every 4 weeks forever.
Okay.
And it's expensive, it's slow, and you're relying on them calling you. So
true.
Instead of that, go direct to source. Go to Gumtree, go to Rightmove, go to places where people are advertising their houses for rent or for sale. Phone them up and say, I want to rent your house. Instead of sending a letter out, which is really expensive, make a phone call, which is super cheap.
Okay, so I've done that. I tried that. I actually went on Spare Room.
Okay.
Found 3 properties which looked good. They were all vacant. And I sent a message to them.
What did you say in your message?
I basically sent them a message saying that, hi, yeah, I'm interested. I do company lets and all that kind of stuff. I do company lets, and I'm interested in renting a property. I can give you obviously renovate the property, blah blah blah, all normal jargon and stuff. And I actually got my account removed from Spare Rooms.
Okay.
Which I was a little bit disheartened about, so I've had to make up a fake email. And
again, to be really clear, I got my first Gumtree account cancelled.
Okay.
That's fine. So in the first 12 weeks of me running my business, I sent 1,100 messages, 1,100 contacts, calls, texts, whatever, to landlords on Gumtree. 1,100 in 12 weeks. Yeah, so I was testing, I was practicing. I don't do it like that anymore, but I was testing, I was practicing. I was seeing what worked and what didn't work.
Okay.
If you go hard and you send out mega amounts of messages, your accounts are probably going to get blocked, as are your accounts going to get blocked. What you can do instead is Spare Room. What you have to remember about Spare Room is that you're talking to people like me who advertise their rooms on Spare Room.
Yeah.
Yeah? So when you go to Spare Room, it's already houses that are already multi-let.
Yeah.
What you want to try and do is target houses that are single-let, so you can convert them to multi-let, and you make your money in the difference.
Okay.
If you target already HMO landlords, you can't make any money. Or you make very little money.
Because I guess...
They already used to HMO money.
Yeah, and I guess they're clocking on to the fact that rent to rent is quite popular, so they're extorting the rental side.
Yes. If you take a 5-bedroom house or a 4-bedroom house that's single let for £1,500 a month, and that's the normal going rate of the market, and you turn it into a £3,500 a month house, you make your money. Whereas if you take a £3,500 house and you run it as a £3,500 house, you can't make your money.
Wow. Okay.
So target single lets and convert, or target single flats and convert to SA. But don't target what's already the strategy that you want.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I hope that's a good question for anyone who else is struggling. Okay, next one, right, is then, so I sent the letters out.
Yeah.
I got, from memory, 500 letters. I got 13 calls.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. I got
I wanted to take a selfie on the stage with them.
3 potentials. The rest of them were all waste of time, by the way, because all their first answer was, how much rent are you going to give me? I haven't. Bear in mind, I never even.
Look at you, Sonny. Ruin it. Sonny is drinking Jameson's. He's knocking the camera out. It's unruly.
That's Sonny
in
Mahal, by the
Hebrew.
way. He's drinking Jameson's, which is really bad.
He's on stage at 12:05.
So I had, obviously, like I said, 13 phone calls. I had several landlords who called me up and they said, the first thing they ever said was,
What are you
oh, I
gonna
got
pay
your
me?"
letter, how much are you going to pay me?
Yes.
My answer to them was, I need to see the property.
Yeah.
And they went, okay, yeah, I don't want to waste your time, I don't want you to waste mine, so how much are you going to pay me? You can't give a quote over the phone because you don't know what the condition of the property is.
You definitely can't.
So I can remember this very, very clearly. I had one phone call and I was there saying to the landlord, I said, look, I'm not really sure what I can offer you until I see it.
Yeah.
Let me do a booking. And he went, I said, let me do a viewing. He went, just give me an idea. So I plucked a number off the top of my head on what I thought would be right based on my calculations and stuff like that on a 5-bedroom HMO. And I said to him, I can give you between £9,000 and £1,000 based on the area. And he went, oh no, I'll get 800. I get 1,800 a month. And I went, right, okay. I was
Gross.
like, yeah, gross. That's what he said. No. Yeah, actually, in fairness, he said 2,000, and then he gets charged £200 for management.
So 1,800 still gross.
Yeah, and I said to him, okay, so what about your bills? And he went, oh, it's students. And I was like, all right, okay. And I went, what about? I was like, sorry, but you don't pay council tax. I was like, what about maintenance? He went, nah, it's about £20 a month. And I went, okay. I was like,
So it's not in a great condition.
yeah. So I was trying to understand what it was that he wanted because I thought, bear in mind, he's called me.
Yeah. You're definitely on the right track, right? So when we teach this stuff, you're here tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So you'll hear my talk tomorrow.
I'm going to hear you talk tomorrow.
We'll talk a bit more about this tomorrow. But when we talk about landlords and what they earn gross is not true. It's a bullshit figure that they are told by agents is what their house is worth. So what you have to do is a process of asking a sequence of questions to get to a point where you understand where their actual true net is. You're on the right tracks, maintenance, management, gas,
Voids.
all the voids, gas safety certificate, inventories, references, white goods care, all the different costs that a landlord will have. Once you actually understand all of those costs, and then you say to them, so what you're telling me based on your numbers is that your gross rent, let's say it's £1,000 a month, you've got £400 deductions from that.
Yeah.
So actually your net average income is 600. So if I can pay you more money and do all the work, would you accept a lower offer? That when you say it like that, they're more likely to. £1,000 is not relevant anymore. They're working on the 600. If I can pay you more money than you're making now, based on what you've told me you're making, and I can do all the work for you, why would you say no to me? And you have to be able to take them through that series of conversations to get to a point where you say, this is why we're better
Right, okay.
than what you've got right now.
And then what you got right now. Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess the addition to that question is that I went through those, not so much the white goods part, but I got to the point where I spoke about bills.
Yeah.
Anybody didn't pay bills.
So most landlords don't pay bills.
No.
Most landlords don't pay bills.
Because they're students.
Or council tax.
Or anything like that, because it's mostly students.
Yeah.
So then I said, what about voids? And I found that in Birmingham, particularly in Birmingham area, if anyone who is in Birmingham.
If you're in Birmingham, say hello.
Yeah, hello.
What's this? Friday night.
Birmingham students tend to do a 12-month tenancy, so there's no voids.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't know how true
It's
that is.
true.
but
They
it's
pay
true.
over 10, but they rent for 12.
So it got to the point where I just said to him, I said, look, honestly, everything I fired to him, he countered back. So I just said, look, I don't think I can help you right now. So thank you for your call. I appreciate it. Maybe in the future, maybe I can help you. The one thing I have done, which most of you probably won't do, and I think it's quite wise, is I saved his number and I put it in my calendar
Yes.
to call him
Yes.
just before the student new year, just to take contact.
Or just after the student year, because if his houses are empty, he'll be more motivated to speak to you.
Okay.
Yeah. landlord, he's a student landlord. His lending will be for students, his insurance will be for students. It will take a lot to convince him not to be students. But if he's got a void, that will be the trigger that makes him entertain something else.
Yeah.
So call him just after
Okay.
intake. And if he's got no voids, you can't help him anyway.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
he's not going to come to you if he's not got a problem.
Yeah.
Ultimately, with in any business, whether it's property, whether it's pubs, whatever it is, you can't sell anything to anybody unless you know what they want. So you have to ask them, what are you struggling with? What's the problem I can fix for you? And then you pitch them on that problem.
Okay. So that's a good tip for anyone here. Focus on the problem, not your problem. Not.
It's not about you.
Yeah, it's not about you. It's about focusing on their problem. If you fix their problem, you could get a deal. And if you don't, one of my top tips is don't get disheartened from it. Just keep focusing on the end goal. Because eventually, and I spoke to this about Sarah earlier, I said, you might get 10 no's, but the 11th or the 12th will be a yeah. Just don't quit after the 8th.
It's true. It's a good lesson.
Right. Next question is when it comes
I'm
to...
also loving that we have wine and whiskey to do
We have
this.
wine and we have whiskey. Cheers. Next question then is when it comes to agents, during my journey, the biggest, I'd say, setback was almost to the point where I almost gave up. I did legit, I'm not gonna lie, I almost gave up. I almost thought to myself, bear in mind, I got sold the false dream saying that this is so easy and it's this and it's that, and you get, I'm sure there's so many people here who've gone on a property course and they've done that and they say, oh, this is the dream and it's so easy and you can do this, and you get the HMO register and you think, okay, this is great, you spend X amount of money and it doesn't work, and then you get your morale levels get devalued and you get brought down. In essence, you get kicked down. So when it came to an agent, all I kept getting was no. And I went to probably around about 20 different agents.
Okay. In how long?
In the space of 2 months. But I've only been doing this for 4 months.
Okay.
Right, so September, January, so yeah, 4 months. Christmas was a bit quiet, obviously. Too much Jameson. Way too much Jameson. But 4 months. So I've been around 20 agents maybe in the last month and a half.
How many times have you spoken to each of those 20?
I spoke to the first lot only once. When they said no, I said, okay, well, if there's anything that does come across, can you take my details and let me know?
Yeah.
So I've tried to keep in touch with them, and they kept saying no.
Okay, so let me just, this is really, really important. When someone says no to you, it's not a no. It's just you haven't done a good enough job yet of telling them why they should work with you.
Right, okay.
So I've got an agent that I work with regularly now. The first time I called them, they hung up on me and told me what I did was illegal.
I had the exact same thing, and someone told me...
Go away, subletting's illegal. Okay, fine. I called him back every Tuesday at midday for 16 weeks, and he gave me a house. And then he gave me another house, and then he gave me another house, and then he gave me another house. Now I work with him all the time. Most people would give up after 4, 5, 6, 7 times being hung up on, told to fuck off, being told that what they do is illegal. I don't take no for an answer. Like it becomes a bit of a weird thing. Like I really want to fight them until they say yes to me. So 16 weeks later, he said yes. Every single agent that you've spoken to, I want you to ring them every week at the same time, every week, without fail, until they either say never dark on my doorstep again, ever, or they give you a house.
Okay, so...
That is your task.
That's my task, and I'm going to be held accountable. I'm going to add you on Facebook properly, and then you need to send me a message every week to tell me to do
So I'll
that.
tell you what, I'm going to do one better than you, right?
Okay.
So, I don't know if you even know this, because we just like bumped into each other in the hotel tonight.
Yeah,
so
this is just a random...
I run a 3-day training event on this topic. I'm going to give you a ticket for free. We normally charge like 1,500 quid plus VAT. I'm going to give you a ticket to come in April, 16th, 17th and 18th of April. So you're going to need to be available.
Okay.
It's a weekday, but
I will make myself
make
available.
yourself available. Between now and April, I need you to do what I'm asking you to
Okay.
do.
Right,
And on
so...
the 16th of April, when you come to the event, we're going to do another Facebook Live and you're going to tell everybody what you've done.
Right, okay, so for anyone who hasn't heard, Sarah's going to send me What you're gonna send me some messages on text messages?
Yeah. So we'll talk between now and April. We'll talk on Facebook Messenger. On the 16th, 17th, and 18th of April. Sonny speaks at this event, so he's part of the team.
Okay, that's Sonny Mahal. If and he's speaking here tomorrow at Heathrow at parking. Yeah.
But I'm going to give you a ticket to that.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a ticket to that because you said to me earlier, I've never done a Facebook Live. I'm a bit nervous about it. And you just did what I asked you to do. You did it. You're super comfortable doing it. And what that proves is that when you take action, shit happens.
That's so true.
I'm going to give you that as a well done for just taking action.
I need to. I'm going to take a hug. I'm going to hug it out.
So, you've got to come 16th, 17th, 18th of April.
16th, 17th, 18th of April.
By then
I'm going to be there.
We're going to try and get you a deal to the point where it's ready to go by then.
Right, so you heard that. She's going to hold me accountable for everything between now and the 16th of April. And if I haven't done it, she's going to tell me off. And I've only met Sarah once. It's the first time I've ever.
Know me really well.
I've only ever met her first time in my life today, and we're having a drink. And I actually feel quite scared because if I don't do it, I don't know what's going to happen. I have a feeling she she knows, but I have a feeling that she might brutally destroy my life.
Oh, it won't destroy your life.
Well, maybe just well, okay, no, if I don't do it, then you might.
Then I might poke you.
Yeah, okay, just pop me in the eye, which will hurt. That's going to hurt because my eyes seal the deals. Okay, so the next question then is this is going back to the agents then.
Okay.
So you get the phone calls.
Yes.
This is what I did. This is my personal experience from my personal journey so far. I went to the agents, I rang them up and I said, okay, no problem. I'm in the area on Saturday.
Yep.
Because that's the days that I can go down.
Yep.
Would you mind if I pop down and talk to you face to face? Show you my face so you can put a name to the face. And they went, okay, no problem. So I went down. They felt a little bit more relaxed. All of a sudden their tone sort of changed in the sense that they said, okay, well we don't have anything at the moment. So I've kept their contact details and I am still in touch.
Are you calling them every week?
I'm not calling them every week, which is what I will do. But I've sort of kept in touch with them, if that makes sense.
Okay, fine.
What would you give for a tip to anyone viewing right now is when they get a no on the phone, should they still go down anyway, or do they just miss it?
Always do it.
Always just go down.
Always. Because we have to remember, right, when someone phones you to sell you something, and you're putting the kids to bed, or you're having a row with your wife, or you've just stubbed your toe on the table, or you've had a bad day, or you've got out of bed the wrong side, or your car's had a flat tyre, or whatever shit you've had that day, when you pick that phone up, you're not going to be very friendly, you're not going to talk to them. But if you call you tomorrow, when you've had a great day, they might talk to you. You have to remember there's human beings at the other end of that phone.
That's very true.
There's human beings that have got real life shit going on that just might have had a shitty day. So just ring them back and say, do you know what? Sounds like you're really busy. I'm going to call you back tomorrow. Or I'm going to call you back next week. Or I'm going to call you back in 2 weeks. Always follow up. The money's in the follow up. 100%.
Yeah. So for anyone who's listening now, right? So rather than wasting time on, in essence, sending direct to vendor letters, which in some cases they do work.
Do sometimes. I'm not saying that they don't work. I just don't do them because
But I think the
slow.
personal touch might be more of a beneficial thing.
Yes,
I
think so.
I guess from my personal experience and from Sarah's is that don't give up after the first 10 or 15 or maybe even 100 no's. Just keep going. Just bug.
I'm pretty sure Sonny did 150 appraisals before he got a yes.
Yeah, so that's true actually, yeah, he did. So in essence, basically, bug, and I'm going to swear now, bug the fuck out of them until they say yeah. Because if you don't, they're going to give it to someone else. They're going to give it, yeah, exactly. So
I'm going to get all your deals if you don't call them back.
And I'm going to call every single person back and I'm going to bug the fuck out of them until they give me the deal because I don't want Sarah to take them because then she's going to charge me for it.
It seems reasonable.
And it seems reasonable. This is great. This is my...
Tally, ladies and gentlemen. He's been amazing. First ever Facebook Live. I think he handled it pretty well.
Thank you.
Jameson's and wine definitely helped. So cheers to you. You have to hit that little button there. And
Kudos.
See
you later.
See you later, guys.